Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. My name is Melissa Huang and I'm your Information Literacy Librarian. Today we're going to go over how to access Publishers Weekly for you. But the very first thing that I wanted to tell you is how to get more help from me. So we're going to start off with the library homepage, which is library.western.edu. You can get to this, through your My Western page, or just bookmark this page really and save it for future reference. But the first things first are, if you go over to the About tab and hit Contact Us, you'll see a full list of all of our names and emails, and you can just email me directly with any questions or problems that you may have accessing things. Offline, off-campus access is always sort of iffy, and depending on where you are, I may be able to give you some help. Okay? Alright, so let's go back to our homepage. And if you've never used our page before, there are tons and tons of tabs, a lot of different things going on, which you should explore at your leisure later to get to sort of know the lay of the land better. But to go to Publishers Weekly directly, we're going to go to Journal Titles, this tab right here, and this will create a little search box for us, and we're going to do Publishers Weekly. This will open up a new tab, and you're going to see a lot of different options for you to click on, and that's because we purchase access to a lot of different publications through database collectors who sort of bundle together different publications and then sell them back to libraries and universities at a higher cost because they can say we have 2,000 journals, right? So unfortunately, not all of these accesses are created equal, and I will show you a couple of examples. You don't actually have to click on these titles. You can, we may in a minute, but you can just click this little plus button right here, and that's going to open up all of the ways in which we've purchased access. So this third one here has quite a few, right? Some of these dates are going to be different. On other publications, you'll notice that there may be embargoes. So it'll say, 1997 till present minus 18 months, something like that. Often for more expensive publications like Nature and so on. But let's take a look at a couple of these links. I'm going to open some of these in some new tabs. We're going to check out Academic ASAP, and let's do Gale 1 file here, and let's do Omni file. And let's see, okay. That's going to give us a few different options, all right? So again, not all of these are created equal, and not just because the dates and the coverage are different, but what you'll see here, if we open up one of these tabs, is this is the layout for all of, Gale-owned publications. And when you click on one of these records, let's say the most recent one, you'll see a whole list of everything from this issue. And if you click on to one of these, you'll be able to see a little snippet thing here, and you'll have a citation, nice and neat, but it's a little bit lacking, right? The other thing too, if we go back a step here and another step, if we're looking at our full text coverage from 2020, there's immediately an issue right here that I hope you notice, but we don't have issue 23 for some reason. I'm going to have to talk to our subscription manager about that, but I don't know why we don't have this issue. So if we think back to where we started over here, I also opened up Omni file, and that's this tab over here. It looks different, right? Immediately. It doesn't seem to have those date drop downs as easily right here. But if you look on the right side, it does have the issues. And if you click on this plus, it'll expand it for you and show all the issues you have. As you can see here, we've got all the most current issues as well. And we've got the missing 23, so that's nice. When we have something from EBSCOhost, though, you have to be very careful about the link. If you wanted to get back to this page, the way you would do that is not by copying and pasting the link in this top box right here. This is what's called a temporary link, and it will time out. In other words, if you copy and paste it and then come back to it in even 15-20 minutes, the page will be gone and it'll have no idea where you came from or who you are or what you want. So to come back to this page, you should go to this share, and you can create the persistent link to search, right? You can also, if you wanted to bookmark a certain results page, I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But mostly, unless there is a share button, with Gale, you can probably just copy and paste this and you should be all right. But you really do want to look for a persistent link if there is one. And the key part to this is the easy proxy in the link, because that will ensure that no matter where you're coming from, if you're off campus, if you're halfway across the world, doesn't matter. It'll ask you to log in with your Western credentials and then let you back into this page consistently. One of the biggest issues is that basically when you're coming off campus, it doesn't know to associate you with Western. So if you tell it to route through Western, it won't bother you with, please pay us money, give us a subscription, etc. So if you wanted to read something like the Chronicle of Higher Education, it's the same process. Everyone has access through the Western library. So, all right, let's go check out this issue, our most recent one here. And you're going to see that it's different, again, from what we saw in Gale. And one of the biggest differences is that we've got the PDF full text. So what this usually indicates is that you're going to be able to see the whole of the magazine as if it were in print. So you're going to be able to see all the images, all of the, different parts of the page, all that kind of thing. So here we've got clues here that will tell us, okay, this is page 26 through 32, 69 through 71, and so on. So theoretically, if you downloaded all these, you could stitch together a complete rendition, basically. So if we were to click onto this article, Spring 2020 Flying Starts, we can go back to this page by sort of consulting the right side here. So we can create a permalink. If we click on this, it'll just generate a link directly back to this page. But sometimes the problem with links is that they get broken or messed up or something else happens to them, right? So if you wanted a more complete package or snapshot here, you can click the Cite button, which will give you the author, title of the journal, etc., the pages, everything that you would need to find this article again should something happen to the link, right? So always a good idea to jot down some basic information so you can find out what the hell this link was supposed to go to, before it got broken. So if we click over here on the left side, we've got PDF full text. When we do that, we're going to see the whole page as if it were just part of the magazine, right? Part of the original publication. Got all the dates, pages, it looks great. Perfect. From here, you can download this using this little down arrow button. You can print it off, you can save it, any of these options to store this page if you wanted to. So that's just a quick little video on how to access. And remember that not all these accesses are created equal, so you may have to try a few different ones, depending on the publication if you're looking for something other than Publishers Weekly. But for Publishers Weekly specifically, I recommend OmniFile, just because you can get the PDF full text and reassemble the magazine in its entirety if you wanted to. So I hope that was helpful. Please feel free to email me, contact me if you have any questions or problems with access. So, bye-bye.